Our current state treasurer is Republican Richard Mourdock.
Good to be with you. In this day and this particular time, I have to tell you it's kind of exciting for those of us who are candidates because we know exactly 6 weeks from right now, the butterflies are going to be going all over. This is an amazing year. We have seen so many people come together early during this campaign season to learn who we are, to understand what we stand for. And I'm particularly proud to stand here before you tonight. And yet I'm very humbled by it as well, because 4 years ago, the people of Indiana gave me the great honor of serving as state treasurer. I will tell you, if 4 years ago, on election night, someone had come to me and said, and oh, by the way, Richard, while you are state treasurer, let's see, you will be there for the biggest financial collapse in history. You will go as the sole petitioner to the United States Supreme Court twice, and because of that, get called to testify to 2 committees of the United States Congress. I might have said, find somebody else to do this job, because those have not always been fun times. But in many ways, they have defined who I am, which is to say I am a conservative person who understands the rule of law, who understands the value of the Constitution of the United States of America. I have, though I am 58 years old, and it's kind of hard to condense 58 years in 3 minutes here, I've had a lifetime of experiences in running businesses and serving in local government. I was a county commissioner down in Evansville. I actually live in Darmstadt, Indiana. How many of you have ever heard of Darmstadt? 2 or 3 hands, very good. Unless you get too haughty, they've never heard of Osceola and Granger and those places in Darmstadt. But I came from a small town down there in Darmstadt, Indiana, served as a county commissioner for 2 terms, where I became known as someone who brought business-like thinking into local government. We set schedules, we laid out plans, and then we measured results, because we didn't just want to get in that track of letting government be government where nothing gets measured, nothing gets monitored, you start programs and you never check the progress. Well, those same types of programs I brought to state government and state treasury. I'm proud to tell you that as state treasurer, we've earned over $1 billion in interest and earnings over the last 4 years. We've caused the Indiana Education Savings Authority to be ranked as one of the top 5 in the United States of America, and we've helped draft legislation to allow public funds, funds of local government invested in a bank, to be safer than ever. And we're really pleased with that record. So we look forward to
All right, our next candidate for state treasurer is Democrat Pete Buttigieg. Pete?
Thanks, first of all, for having me here. I have to admit, as a Democrat, that many of my friends and supporters looked at me as if I was absolutely nuts when I suggested that I would be coming tonight to speak with a group that's often identified with the Tea Party. There are some, especially in my party, who think that the Tea Party is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Republican Party. But there are many others who believe that the Tea Party is motivated by real concerns about the direction of our government and the responsiveness of our government to citizens, and above all, a frustration with business as usual. That is what motivated me to run. And so while we may come from often very different perspectives, I believe we might find that we have a lot in common on that front. I grew up right here in South Bend. We're less than a mile from my home, which in turn is around the corner from where I grew up. And growing up in South Bend, as many of you know, means you grow up with a very intuitive sense of the importance of jobs. Because here we grew up in the shadow of that big Studebaker plant, right south of Coveleski Stadium. A facility that has stood empty for my entire life. And in many ways, to this day, South Bend has not yet recovered from the blow that we got when that company closed its doors. We haven't recovered the same population, and I would argue we haven't, in many ways, recovered the same economic vibrancy as a whole. And so before I could even pronounce the word economics and employment and industry meant a great deal to me. That's why I went to, somebody made a mistake and gave me a Rhodes Scholarship, and I used it to go overseas and learn economics. And I did that because I wanted to understand unemployment at the theoretical level. And then I came back and went into business, and I worked for a company where my job was to do math. I'm a card-carrying nerd. You sort of have to be to think that state treasurer is an important office and an exciting one. And I did math for a living around economics. The economics of energy and the economics of stabilizing very tough maybe I ought to try to help stabilize the economy right here in Indiana. And so the premise of my campaign is that the state treasurer's office could be doing more to help our economic life. And I've laid out a series of specific ideas, not only first to make our money safer, which is, I think, agenda item number one no matter what, but also that we can be part of the solution out of that treasurer's office when it comes to the jobs crisis.
30 seconds.
Thank you. When I travel around the state, the number 1, 2, and 3 issues I hear about are jobs, jobs, and jobs. And I believe that we can mobilize the $7 to $8 billion managed by the treasurer's office on any given day in a more effective, more creative way. So I'm obviously new, I'm obviously young, I obviously do not represent a status quo or an old way of doing business, but I hope that I'll be given a chance because I really believe in this stuff. I really think it matters, maybe just because I am a nerd. And I'm here for the other party to reach out in good faith